Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Shereen and I'm so glad you're here. Today I am going to be talking about postpartum update, and I hope that this video is informative to you or is helpful for those new mamas or mama to be, because it's definitely on the personal side of topics. I wasn't sure if this was something I wanted to include on my YouTube channel, but so far, every time I've talked to someone about it, about my experience, they can totally relate. So I just wanted to make a quick video. I'll make it short and sweet, just to give you some of my highlights of my postpartum update on like what helped me, what areas I'm struggling with, and so hopefully we can connect on that. I will break up this video into 3 sections. The first is recovery, second is my body and weight, and lastly is my mental health. So first, let's talk about recovery. I would say my recovery was so easy, alhamdulillah. I'm so blessed. So I'm the kind of person, like, my pregnancies are like really hard pregnancies, but then labor and recovery, alhamdulillah, is so easy. So I would say mine was like very standard or very expected, like all the steps throughout. My doctor said to wait 6 weeks and then see her again for like full recovery. And I did. Like when she saw me at 6 weeks, she was like, you're good, you're doing great, everything looks fine. What happened to me during those 6 weeks, I want to talk to you about that just a little bit, just a few things, not much honestly. The main pain or whatnot is every time I was breastfeeding, I got really bad cramps. Like I could tell my tummy was tightening every time I was breastfeeding. I don't know what the connection was, and they did tell me it does have a connection, but it was just so like I dreaded breastfeeding anyways because of my breasts were so sore, and I just really I'm not a breastfeeding mom. Like I just really don't like it. I don't know why it really bothers me. And then with my tummy tightening at the same time, it's just like double the pain. It's like hitting me from every direction. So that was annoying. And the doctor did prescribe me some painkillers. And to be honest, I didn't feel like the pain was like too much for me to handle, except a few times. Like there were a few times where like I couldn't get out of it. I'm like, oh my God, what is happening? Like it's so strong. And then Asmar would give me medications and I would lay in bed and just like take it easy and then get up again. And that was all fine. Like, you know, my doctor didn't worry because it only happened a few times and it was just part of the recovery. But other than that, I would say like I didn't have any like major like hiccups with recovery. So I feel like I'm really grateful in that area. Now, as for my body and my weight, I was back to my pre-pregnancy weight like a week after I had the baby. And no, it's not like magic for me or anything. The only reason why that happened for me is because I lost so much weight when I was having the baby that by the time the baby was like, by my due date, I was only 12 pounds over my initial dates, which was like by the time the baby was born and all the fluids and everything, like I had lost those 12 pounds. So that's the only reason why I was able to weigh myself and say, oh, I'm back to my pre-pregnancy weight. But like, it's not like I did anything to get there, you know, just to be honest. But my body did change. Like I was carrying the weight in different areas, obviously. Like my belly was like a postpartum belly, obviously. Like that was not gonna go away in a week, you know. And my breasts obviously were bigger because of the milk, and just breastfeeding was making them so sore and stuff. But everything else in my body was like the same. So that's for my weight, and I'm 3 months postpartum now, and I've maintained that weight so far. I still have some belly fat that came from the labor, from just being pregnant, but that's completely normal and natural, and it's fine. Like it's not bothering me at all. Now, another thing with my body is like the stretch marks. I'm also very fortunate that I didn't have that many stretch marks with Zayden, but it still kind of hit me a little bit, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie, because when I had Myra, I didn't have stretch marks at all. When I had Myra, I was like, oh my God, having kids is la la la. It was like such a breeze, everything. And with Zayden, I definitely faced more like difficulties. But I would say at the end of the day, my recovery, my labor, and my body changes are very, very mild. And I'm just really fortunate in that way. My pregnancy was much harder. That's a different conversation. So I think like God knows I paid my dues while I was pregnant, and that's why, you know, everything else wasn't too bad. I do expect changes in my weight over the next couple of months because I'm starting to work out more now, and I'm hoping to lose some weight. Just for me, it was something I was working on before I got pregnant anyways. It has nothing to do with the baby or postpartum or anything. Now let's talk about my mental health, which is where my issues are, to be honest. And honestly, I want to talk about it because I want to say it's completely normal and completely natural. And I want all the moms and all the mommies to know that and be prepared for that. And don't feel like you're going crazy or something, or you've lost your mind all of a sudden, because being a mom is huge. It's so huge. It's such a big change in your life, and your brain is just not gonna handle it. Like, I mean, it hits you in different areas, right? I'm not gonna sit here and tell you. I mean, I'm generally a very happy and perky person, and I was seeing people after the baby was born, and I was like, and that's me like 95% of the time. But who doesn't get down every once in a while? And that's also me. The thing I noticed the most after having the baby with my mental health is mood swings. I mean, we all have mood swings, and I would say especially women, we do have mood swings, like just like that, especially around that time of month and whatnot. But I swear, after having the baby, I noticed way more mood swings. And I'd just be so happy and fine, and we're eating or we're talking or all that, and all of a sudden something makes me cry or something makes me sad. And I tell Asmar, I'm like, I'm not mad at you, I just don't know what to do. And it's just so, I don't know what it is. And part of it, like when I start thinking about my kids and how I'm gonna raise them and how can I protect them and what the future can hit them, especially now, such a tough time with Corona and the shelter in place and the pandemic, I'm just like, what are we doing? Why are we bringing kids into the world when it's so messed up? And then I'm like, oh my God, did I just say that? No, I love my kids so much. And so it's, this constant dilemma of being a mom and worrying and like carrying that burden of like how we're gonna raise them. Am I doing a good job? And like all these things sometimes get to me, and I'm trying to like talk myself out of it all the time. Like, you're doing a good job. Look, I mean, they're alive. They're eating, they're sleeping. Does that count for something? So I constantly tell myself that. And I feel like not that many people talk about that shift in the way you think once you have a kid. Like, the way you think completely changes. And I think it's really important to be open when you talk about it, so that other people know that it's normal, know that they're not the only ones going through something like that. And that's why I'm here sharing with you like my experience and what I'm going through. The other thing that really like gets to me sometimes is the fact that I'm not working. And I know this also hit me hard when I had Myra, because I am such a like career-driven, workaholic kind of woman. I like being independent. I like to be productive. I like at the end of my day, at the end of my week, at the end of my month, I like to say I got a step closer to being better, to earning more, to doing more. Like, that's just the kind of person I am. I started working so young, and I really like, that's like built in me. Like, I'm wired that way. It's so hard to snap out of that. I'm convinced that me being home with the kids is the best for us. It's the best for me, it's the best for the kids, it's the best for our family. But sometimes, just sometimes, every once in a while, I'm like, I don't have a job. When I had a job, I used to get dressed every day. And I get so sad about it. I don't know why. And I don't want to sit here and lie and tell you like, being a mom and staying home is just like, no, it's not that. It's not that all the time. Obviously, when holding Zayden and looking into his eyes and just cuddling him and kissing him, like, it's the sweetest thing on earth. But there's also moments where like Zayden is crying his lungs out, and Myra just has to tell me about something in this exact moment, and I'm like, can one of you shut up right now? Like, seriously? I cannot, like, I need to take care of just one person at a time. And so I would say like that's like my biggest struggle, like from my mental health perspective. Like, if I have to say, like, that's the biggest change I had to make in my life. By having kids in general, not just Zayden. Like, I know with Myra, I had to make the same adjustment too. And I feel like with Zayden, now I have a bigger adjustment to make, because it's Zayden and Myra and the pandemic. Like, I don't know how long I'm gonna stay home with the kids. My identity as a businesswoman is kind of gone. But then I try to always remind myself and stay positive about the fact that maybe I do have a new identity now, and that I know it's a much better one as a mom to my kids. Of course, it's like, if anyone deserves my time, it's my kids, you know, like, of course, like, I know that. And the thing is, I know that so well, but I don't know why, like, mentally it's still something that like bothers me sometimes. That's all I wanted to share with you guys for this video. Alhamdulillah, we're doing great, and I'm happy, and the baby's doing so good. And whatever it is that I'm feeling now, whether it's with breastfeeding discomfort or a little bit of mental health adjustments that I have to make, I know that all that is normal, completely normal actually, and I'm blessed that it's actually on the mild side. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you enjoyed it and you want to see more, please subscribe to my channel. If you don't want to, that's fine, I understand. I'm just really glad you are here today. Bye.